I don't know if it's just me getting old, but I have a gripe that I want to share with you because it demonstrates the frustration level clients have trying to give you money. And if you want to get more money, you need to make it easy for customers to pay you. Hey, I'm Justin Hitt with Sustainable Wealth Secrets. Yes, I know the credit card companies will promise that, that it's easy for people to pay with a credit card. They're, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. There's all kinds of platforms to receive money from customers. But I've got an invoice in front of me from my CPA that was due 3/15/2022, and it is now 5/3/2022. $750 invoice. I was wondering why they weren't calling me and following up on the stuff. I was leaving messages to them and they weren't getting things done. So I deep dive in my email and I find an unpaid invoice. Now, I had no idea. Frankly, I hate email. Email is it's just everything all at once. I'd rather have a letter. You don't call me a Luddite, but there's too much email. I continually unsubscribe from stuff. It just seems like there's a lot of effort required to maintain email. Where if I go to the P.O. box or I go to my mailbox, I get a stack of mail, I single handle each items. I throw the majority of it in the trash. I might set aside a pile where somebody's going to call and they're going to cancel subscriptions. But ultimately, I can easily and quickly fill things out. But they sent me one invoice. How do you expect to get paid if you just sent one invoice? In fact, I have terms with these folks. They sent an invoice on 2/28. I should have seen another invoice right after the due date at a minimum, or send the invoice electronically and mail me a copy. Again, am I getting old? Is this an unreasonable expectation? Let's move to the next one. I had an Amazon seller account. Okay, I got banned because I listed about 2,000 items. I was able to drop ship the items. It was a mixture of drop ship items and items in the office, and I had a problem in a script. And so the file that was produced to upload had a 50% discount on everything. Within 24 hours, I had 5,000 orders. So of course, people saw the low price. They go to try to buy it out because they're going to resell it. And I had 5,000 orders in 24 hours. So the first thing I do is realize there's a mistake and I start canceling these orders. So I actually canceled the orders in bulk. And now Amazon got upset because I was canceling customer orders. I noted, there's a price fail, pricing error, out of stock item, all that kind of stuff. And then ultimately they shut down my seller account. This was in 2016. And I'm still getting Amazon Central notices that listings have been deactivated due to potential pricing errors. Yes, no kidding. I actually even renamed my account. It says delete this account. I renamed everything. Delete this account. Delete this account. And the accounts have been suspended since 2016. And ultimately, they're still sending me notes. What's my point here? First off, the point is, because email's easy, very often businesses over-communicate. They send stuff that's, they didn't have to pay a stamp, so they sent the invoice by email. A lot of times I want to put my account on file. I want to put a credit card on file with the vendor. If they're going to do work, I'd rather they just charge the card. Bank statements, all these things online does not save you time and effort. It ultimately requires you to go in there and download all those statements in order to reconcile your bank account. Now, I know a lot of you are not reconciling your bank account, but if you have a significant amount of money, you should be doing it because otherwise you're going to get scammed and not even know it. But my point being is that if you're in the business of serving customers, you need to get paid, and you need to get paid immediately. So you have to contact these customers fast enough to know they owe you money, like maybe get a deposit up front. And then when you send your invoice, if you don't see a payment on the due date, you send another letter. I got a gas company here that if the bill pay people are 1 day late, I get a notice to shut off my gas. And that's just what they do. It's automated. So you can automate the electronic version, but you also have to have the paper going out there so that somebody has a physical reminder that the money's due. Because if it's if it's May and it was due in March, these people are out $750. I'm still going to pay them, but they're out $750 that could have been utilized in the company. So when we talk about cash flow, you can speed up your free net cash flow by increasing the rate in which money comes into the organization, simply by optimizing your accounts receivable. And you can build systems in place, such as getting a deposit or putting a credit card on file, so that when it comes time to receive your payment, it is near immediate. So here's another gripe. I'm looking at and I'm not going to mention what bank it is, but I'm looking at my bank statement here, and they've got all these little extra advertisements in the bank online banking. So I have my business checking account, and below it says, be your own CEO or CFO. That's basically an ad. And then under my personal account, it says, explore accounting software. I want to go online and I want to see, here's another one. Need new or additional payment relief due to COVID-19? Or down here, there's deals, all the different, I want to see a dashboard of my accounts in the most boring way possible. I want to see the balances. I want to come down. When I drill down into the account listing, I want to see a double entry. I want to see 2 columns, debit and credits. Not this amount in running balance. Is that amount going in or is that amount coming out? Okay. So again, we got to make our statements easy to read. We got to make things accounting oriented, especially if it's financially related. And you ultimately have to send out a monthly statement. So if you've got regular billing with the clients, you've got to send a monthly statement to remind them they owe you money. In the event that money doesn't get paid, you just can't ghost the people. You got to find out why they haven't paid the money. And it could be legitimately they didn't get the damn invoice because you're a cheap bastard and you won't pay $1 to send somebody a letter in the mail. I could go on for hours. There's a lot of this stuff. It's difficult to cancel accounts when it comes time to do so. Folks won't return your money right away. Very often I will cancel a newsletter subscription and keep receiving the newsletter for 6 months. It just doesn't make any sense. I do think this has a little bit to do with the people who write the software or to build these systems don't remember or don't know like how to pay bills by check. Like really think about the workflow when you're going to do your monthly statements and pay your credit cards and pay your mortgage and stuff like that. You have a stack of paper, which is the unpaid bills. And as you process them, you write on the front of it what check number and then the amount of the check. You take the little tab off and put it in an envelope and you set that aside. The invoice that's been paid goes into the paid pile and then it ultimately gets filed. After that, you're done. You don't have to log in somewhere and download a statement and then log in somewhere else and make a payment and then log in somewhere else and do something else. Or you can just go to one console, which is the checkbook, and write the checks, stick them in envelopes, and mail them. Now, I do like online bill pay because it gives you a certain effect similar to that. But again, if I got to go download the stupid PDF invoice from 5 different websites, am I really saving any time? And, think about these things. Now, again, how do you use this to increase your wealth and prosperity? First off, you in your business streamline the money getting. Get a deposit up front. Keep a credit card on file. Basically send statements at a minimum, but definitely send copies of the invoice. So send an invoice by email, which might have a link where they can make the payment. But you also send that invoice in print so that they get a physical reminder that they owe you money. Busy professionals want the streamlined environment. Now, I've got another bank account that has a different bill pay interface. Extremely simple. If you're going to have a account transaction, big buttons about what to do, little buttons about all this other crap. You basically want to help the viewer or the visitor focus on the key transactions, which is going to, in an accounting environment like online banking, it's going to be, what's your bank balance and, what are your transactions, and download the statements or view the statements on the screen. But ultimately, I know people don't like to have a lot of paper around, but The physical paper was easier to manage. You could have a tickler file. You could have a file cabinet to put the papers in. Downloading all these PDF statements, you still got to hold on to them for 7 years. If you have anything significantly going on, these records need to be there for an audit. So there really isn't any difference except all the other hoops that people make you jump through when you're working online. So it could be your shopping cart for your business. Does your online checkout, is it just a few simple steps? It could be your interaction with the customer around your point of sale system. Is it a few simple steps? If you make it difficult for the individual, they will not pay you on time, and it will be difficult for you to boost your cash flow because the money will be going out delivering the service. See, you're going to do the work first and get paid later. No, we've got to change that around if we want to turn income into net worth. We have to get the money up front, get the money at service. At a minimum, have them on a subscription program so they're paying you money every month anyway. I don't know. I get frustrated about this. I see it in so many different ways. Just going through my email, I see so many notices and reminders and newsletters and updates and stuff that how could anybody think they're going to get an invoice through to a busy individual so that they can pay it in a reasonable amount of time? Like, I know I had service with these people. I know they should have been invoicing me. I asked them about the invoice, and it's buried in email. Difficult to figure out it was even an invoice. Put invoice and the invoice number in the subject at a minimum. Make it clear. I'm Justin Hitt with Sustainable Wealth Secrets, where we discuss some of the obstacles and challenges folks have in actually getting the income that's necessary to create net worth, to create long-term prosperity. Contact me with your questions at www.sustainablewealthsecrets.com. Simply go to the contact page. And guess what? If you send me a fax or you send me a letter, I'm going to get it faster than I'm going to get a stupid email. But there is a little form there where you can ask your questions, and then we'll try to answer those questions in an upcoming podcast. And I'll see you next time.